from our NASCAR expert who was unable to join us because we were off the air. I do want to touch on a few of his plays because he has been scorching hot over the last 2 months. And we will also do a fantasy football mock draft at 1:30 Eastern, everyone. If you want to be a part of that fantasy football mock draft, we want you guys to get off the sidelines and into the game. Join us. Fumble Sports is having our mock draft at 1:30, everyone. I'm already in there. Jorge the Goat has already joined. If you want to join the Fumble Sports mock draft at 1:30 p.m. Eastern today, make sure you DM us on Instagram. That's Fumble Sports on Instagram. I'll send you guys a link. You guys can participate in the mock draft. We are going to do a 10-team PPR snake draft at 1:30 p.m. today. Of course, so wonderful to have all of you with us. It has been a minute, everybody. So wonderful to be back. Yes, we took 2 days off for the first time in over 2.5 months, but unfortunately had to get a dental implant. Once again, shout out to the offices of Dr. Nevins, Dr. Mark Nevins in Boston. Did a brilliant job with my care. If any of you guys are looking for that kind of exceptional care, I'm sure that you can find great care around you. Mark Nevins, you are superior to all of them. Want to give a shout out to him. For all of those that are joining us, Fumble Sports is a sports content company created by a sports fan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of the Fumble Sports Daily Show. It is so great to have you here on this Wednesday, June 14th. Another great day to talk sports.
Kick, TikTok, no matter where you're watching, we're grateful for the support. Make sure you guys join us every single day, because if it's 12:30 on the East Coast and I don't have a dental emergency, we are live. Make sure you hit that subscribe button no matter where you are. We love having you be a part of this community. As you can tell, we have regulars who come in every day. Wonderful to see them. But if you're new to the show, new to the network, make sure you check out our content. We're ranting about sports. We're talking about sports betting. We're giving out fantasy sports plays. We are a great place for good sports information. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tap the screen, like the video, no matter the platform. We really appreciate the support. And of course, contact us. We love hearing from you guys, no matter where you are. Love hearing from you. So you can DM us. You can hit us up on our various platforms. Or of course, go to our website, just like Elliot Robinson did the other day. Shout out to you, Elliot. Loves getting that email from you, showing his support for Fumble Sports. Meant a lot to us here on the other side of the screen. So thank you so much. And if you guys hit us up, we always try to reply, let you know how much we appreciate the support. Now, it's been a few days since we did our show, but isn't it funny how it goes? One of our most successful days ever in doing our show, and we couldn't brag about it the next day. We had to wait a few days. The last time we were live, July 25th, Tuesday, we went 50-25. Let that sink in. Yes, you heard that correct. We went 50-25. Our MLB game picks went 16-6. Our MLB prop bets went 29-19. And WNBA was a clean sweep in our favor, 4-0, 1-0. Our parlay plays went 8-2. Our long ball long shots of the day went 3-9. And we had an all-time great day stealing bags. 6 of the 7 players that we called out to get a stolen base actually swiped a bag. Unbelievable. You guys did brilliantly as well. You guys went 10-4. To look at how a few of you guys did, shout you guys out. Y.A. Tittle went 1-0. Top Dog went 2-0. Ben went 2-0. Diego went 1-1. And Carhone went 1-1. But Jorge went 2-0. Tito's Full Send went 1-1. Drew, unfortunately, you were the lone person to not cash a ticket in our show. Just to show you guys the rankings and records, we are going to do a contest for the month of August. So make sure you guys are participating. Going to be having a lot of fun in the month of August with a non-chalk celebrity shot contest. That means every bet has to be better than minus 200. So a bigger challenge than the contest that we had in the month of July. Hope you guys participate in every single show, giving out your picks. Hopefully you guys have a lot of fun. Of course, that's the past. We've got to get work done today because it's a brand new day, brand new opportunity to do some sports betting, and of course, give out some good sports picks. So everybody, welcome into the show. Hope you're having a great Friday and hope you have a great weekend planned ahead. We are going to get into it right now. So make sure you hit that like button, tap your screen. Every time we get 2,000 likes, we will give out a long ball, long shot of the day, a player we think is going to hit a home run. We do have WNBA picks as well. I have 5 WNBA picks, and as you can tell, we have gotten better and better with our player prop bets in baseball and our MLB game picks. We were scorching hot the last time we had the show. Hopefully we can bring that kind of momentum and good research to today's plays. So we clear the slate, we get ready to go. IP Shade 45, don't have a rant to start the show. Definitely going to talk about Burrow and Ramsey to talk about a little bit of NFL camp, but we're not going to start the show there. Where am I starting the show? Dropping picks. It's been a few days. I want to give out some picks, let you guys have what I believe are a few winners. First one I'm going to give out is going to be Tigers plus 1.5. Now, I want to make sure, just as I give out a few of these plays, that we are getting this at the most advantageous spot. Plus 1.5 is probably the best I can do. Plus 2.5, too chalky. Oh, definitely too chalky at minus 250. So with that said, I will take the Tigers plus 1.5, giving out another play right here. Tigers, Marlins, no to a run in the first inning. No run in the first inning of that game. Let me give out a few more because I'm just in the giving mood right now. Let's go Yankees, Orioles, over. Yes, you heard that right. Over, despite Garrett Cole being on the mound for the Yankees. Right now it's set at 8.5. We can do better than that. Let's take the over 7.5. That's what I like. That's been very consistent with these two teams. So we will also take over 7.5. Keep it going there. Yankees, Orioles, very kind of playing to the theme of the narrative of runs being scored in this game. Yes to a run in the first inning. And finally, I actually like the Orioles to cover in this game. Where I get them is a question, though. Orioles plus 1.5. It's probably the best I can do just to see what alternative lines are. Orioles plus 2.5 is minus 250. Too chalky. I will take the Orioles to cover. I will take that. So that's 5 picks that we just dropped on you guys to get the show started. Deadpool just dropped some more confetti on our heads, so we have another pick to give out. How about I give out a WNBA play? I'll give out 2 WNBA plays to get us started. First one I'm going to go with is Lynx and Liberty. I'm going to take the over in this one. Now, the over has definitely been moving. There's been some line movement on that game. So, you guys want to jump on this now because I think the line movement is going to continue to move towards the under. Towards the over. I'll take the over, but I want that alternative line. Over 163.5. 163.5 is the total that I want for Lynx and Liberty. Finally, I like the Lynx to cover this game. Where could I get them at? I thought it was 14.5 the last time I saw it. It is. Let's see if we can get it even better. WNBA gives out some great alternative line opportunities. I could take the Lynx at plus 17.5, minus 175. That's what I'm going to do. So it's plus 17.5 for the WNBA, the 2 WNBA picks that I just gave out. So we are off and running with today's show. Mike Torres, Giant Water Park this weekend. Who's going to have some fun? Mike Torres' kids. That's going to be an awesome time. Arctic Tiger already has a celebrity shot to put up on the board. If you guys have a pick that you want up on the board, just let us know right in the comments section, my celebrity shot or my celebrity pick, and we will let you guys put it up on the board. Jose Siri, over half a home run. And you're also taking Ryan McMahon over, is it half a home run as well? Arctic Tiger is someone who definitely likes the dinger plays. IP Shade 45. Oh, it's raining confetti in here. Raining confetti. Thank you so much, IP Shade 45. Siri, McMahon on the board for Arctic Tiger. Ellie De La Cruz brings the rookie show here to LA this weekend. IP Shade 45, if you don't have a ticket yet, get one. Because this is the most dynamic player right now, maybe in sports outside of Shohei Ohtani. What Ellie De La Cruz does on a night-in, night-out basis. I know some people go, oh, he goes 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts sometimes. Yeah, and then he throws the ball across the diamond at nearly 100 miles an hour. He is just so dynamic. If you have the opportunity, if you're in Southern California, go check out that series between the Reds and the Dodgers. So much talent on the field. That could be actually a playoff preview, believe it or not. Hard to believe that the Reds, now almost into August, are still very much in playoff contention. But that game between the Reds and the Dodgers, that could be an October preview. Should be a lot of fun for all those who are able to attend. Top Dog, great to see you. Hope you're having a great day. Let's get Top Dog's picks up on the screen. We will talk some fantasy football later today. If you want to get in on our mock draft, make sure you hit us up, DM us on Instagram. DM us on Instagram, Fumble Sports, and we'll share the link with you. We are doing a fantasy football mock draft at 1:30 p.m. Eastern today. If you want to get in on it, let us know. By the way, need to change one thing. You can tell it's been a minute because it's the 28th now. We got a mock draft. That's right. We've been away a few days because I had to get some oral surgery. I had to get some implants put in. That said, we are back and we're talking sports, giving out picks, giving out plays. We have a lot of picks to give out because IP Shade 45 just dropped that confetti on our head. So we've got some more plays to give out. But before I do, Top Dog, Dante, big shout out to both of you for watching. Appreciate your support. Let's get your picks up on the board. I appreciate you guys saying you've been missing Butt Fumble Sports. We've been missing you guys as well. Joe Musgrove, over 17.5 outs. Like that play for Top Dog. And Logan Gilbert, under 5.5 strikeouts. We'll do our research on those in a little bit. We're going to keep moving along, though, to Dante. Dante's taking the Marlins on the money line. You are also going to take Lucas Giolito in his Angels debut. Lucas Giolito in his Angels debut. You have him over 1.5 walks. Nice find. Nice find. By the way, I'm feeling great. Loving life. It is wonderful to be back with you guys talking sports like we do here at Butt Fumble Sports. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. Make sure you're part of this Butt Fumble Sports community. Every time we can come live at 12 o'clock, we do. We have our Formula One expert joining us at 1. We have our mock draft at 1:30. We have a lot of picks to give out. Boy, is it a great day to talk sports. Let's get to work right now. I'm going to give out a bunch of plays here. We've already given out some MLB game picks. We'll give out more of those. But I have some player prop bets that I want to drop on you guys. No, we'll wait on those, actually, because we're going to do those probably in a rip in a little while. Let's do some more MLB game picks. Moving right along, I will take Angels, Blue Jays, yes to a run in the first inning. Angels, Blue Jays, yes to a run in the first inning. Also take the Angels, Blue Jays. I'm going to take the over. I want to make sure I get this at a good spot here. Angels, Blue Jays, 8.5. I can do better than that because that's at even money right now. Let me pump that up. I can get it over 7 at minus 190. Normally, I would say take the hook in your favor, but at minus 190, not a bad play. If you want to go with the 7.5, minus 142, I get that. I'll take the over 7. If it hits 7, it's a push. So still, in reality, I don't want the push. You're right. You're right. I don't want the push. I'll take the over 7.5 at minus 142. Let's keep going. I'm also going to take Blue Jays on the money line. I do not think Lucas Giolito gets a win in his first game with the Angels. I will take the Mets, first 5 on the money line, and the Mets on the money line. Max Scherzer on the bump in that one. I'll give out a few more picks to say thank you to you guys for dropping that confetti, participating in the show, and then we'll get to more of your questions and your celebrity shot picks. Let's go to Guardians, White Sox, yes to a run in the first inning. I will also take the Guardians, White Sox. Now, this one, I saw a line on this one that was really high. Guardians, White Sox, over 10.5. I'm going on the other side of this one. I'm going to take the under. I'll bump up the ceiling so I don't hit my head, but under 11.5 is where I'm going to take this play. And you can see on the screen, the under has been a much stronger play for both the Guardians and the White Sox, especially when I set it at that 11.5 mark. So I really like this play today. This is actually one of the plays that really stood out to me as to, I was surprised that it was being offered at 10.5. 11.5, I'll take the under on that one. I'll give out 2 more plays for you guys. 2 more picks that I'll give out right now. Again, to say thank you for you guys hitting that live goal confetti. Next one I'm going to give out is going to be Brewers and Braves. I will, yes, take a run in the first inning on that one. And I will take the Braves on the money line. So, a ton of picks that we just dropped on you guys. So many picks. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. We are doing our work, giving out good plays. If you guys need help with your fantasy lineup, your DFS lineup, if you need research done for your sports betting plays today, Butt Fumble Sports is here to help you guys out. Jorge's got a great question. By the way, show me. Thank you for sharing the channel. We will get to a stolen base pick in just a second. So Judge playing today got him to take a home run. I'm not going to take Judge on a home run today. I want to see him come back. I want to see a few at-bats. I want to see, the feet are so important in hitting. It really is the base that drives so much of the power. With Aaron Judge, I want to see how he's able to turn on that foot, on that toe. I'm not there with you right now. I'm not there, so I would wait on it. By the way, we will not only get to Bryce Harper, but I want to give out a stolen base pick of the day. Show Me is talking some stolen base. And funny enough, Show Me, thank you for sharing the channel, but I want to go to Diego's point as a means of answering your question. Stolen base pick of the day. Every time you guys share the channel, we give out a player we think is going to get a stolen base. Ronald Acuna Jr., everybody. Expect him to have a really good day today. He's facing a pitcher that he has success against. Obviously, this guy's going to be a 40-40 guy. I think he's going to swipe a bag. So let's load up Outlier, our research tool, to look at how Ronald Acuna Jr. looks when it comes to getting a stolen base. Let's punch him in. Over half a stolen base on this one. I can get it 39% implied probability, plus 154, lock it in, love the play, would absolutely take it. But additionally, would we also want to take over 1.5 bases? The answer is yes. This is a good trend. This is a good play, 58% implied probability, minus 140. So this is a really strong play for all of you guys out there. Want to make sure you guys are aware of it. That's Ronald Acuna Jr. over 1.5 bases. Let us know what other plays you guys are interested in. Let's get Diego's pickup on the board. Ronald Acuna Jr. over 1.5 bases. By the way, Shay, that's a great play. Boston over 3.5 runs. Love that play. Not going to put it up on my board, but that's a really strong find by Shay. I think that Red Sox offense will get to 4 runs today. Ahmed Rosario, Arctic Tiger, asked about that. Let's also get to Bryce Harper because we were asking about him. Before we finish on Ronald Acuna Jr., there's only one other play I want to touch on. That's over half a run. We've been taking this very consistently. It's almost gotten to chalk levels. Only Caesars has it at the minus 198. So I will take Ronald Acuna Jr. over half a run. But we're almost to that point where we're going to stop taking that play because it's just not advantageous anymore. The sports books have wised up to it. So over half a run, not as good as it used to be. That said, love Bryce Harper today. He has good numbers against the starting pitcher he'll be facing. So let's look at Bryce Harper. Can't get the over half a hit. 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, not available either. Would I take the over 1.5 bases? I would. I understand if you guys wouldn't. I'm not going to throw it up on my board, but I do want to find another play involving Bryce Harper. Whether it's over half an RBI or over half a run, I feel like he's going to deliver some offense today. Good numbers against the starting pitcher. I'll take the over half a run at plus money. I know it only has a 42% implied probability, but I'm going to take this one. Again, you may not want a tail, but Bryce Harper over half an RBI, and I'm going to take it at plus money. So I'm just putting this symbol right here so you guys know this is going to be a plus money play for me. I'm getting that at plus 140. Love that play. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. If you have questions We are here to help you guys out with your picks. Additionally, I have a ton of picks of my own to give out. We have already given out a lot of MLB game picks. We've given out a few WNBA picks. Make sure you guys hit the live goal confetti. Every time you do, we give out more picks. We will also go through a rip of players that I think are going to have a good day. A rip of players that I think are going to strike out. We'll do our reverse engineering walks play. Pitchers we think are going to go over their walks allowed total. We will also have our Formula One expert join us at 1 p.m. Eastern. 1 p.m. Eastern, our Formula One expert, to give you guys some good insight on the race on Sunday. And finally, at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, we will do a fantasy football mock draft that you guys can participate in. So if you guys want to get in on the fantasy football mock draft that we are going to be having at 1:30 p.m. today, DM us on Instagram. But Fumble Sports on Instagram. If you hit us up, I'll share the link with you guys. You guys can participate, be a part of that mock draft. Obviously, use it as a way of learning how you should approach your draft, which players are going when, which rounds are having a run on a certain position. Good insight. We have a lot of really good fantasy football players that join us for those mock drafts. We do one almost every single day, so make sure you DM us, But Fumble Sports on Instagram, and that way you can be a part of that mock draft. That'll take place in about an hour and 10 minutes, everybody, but we have more MLB game picks to get to, more of your research. By the way, Diego just hit us up, so Diego, welcome in to the But Fumble Sports Fantasy Football Mock Draft. Go claim your team, and that way you can participate with us at 1:30. Let's get to Diego also talking about Josh Bell, like that. Josh Bell over half a home run. I'm not going to take him for a long ball, long shot of the day, but I do like Josh Bell. Let's get Josh Bell up on the board. I do like him as well. I showed you guys Bryce Harper. Only place we were going to take him was going to be on that over half an RBI. A little unfortunately, I couldn't find something better. Josh Bell, really like him today. Can I get him on over half a hit? Yes, I can. It is a little chalky, minus 210, but I'm still going to take it. Josh Bell, over half a hit. We tack on this symbol at the end of the bet so you guys know it's a leg of a parlay. Plus money means plus money. This symbol means it's minus 200 or worse. So pair a few of them together, put it in a nice like parlay package, and that way you can turn kind of minus 200, minus 230 odds closer to plus money. Additionally, let's look at Josh Bell over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I would take this 57% implied probability, minus 135. That's Josh Bell over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. Every time you guys hit the like button on TikTok Live, it gets us closer to giving out some long ball, long shots of the day. Every time we get to a 2,000 like benchmark on our likes, we give out a player we think's going to hit a home run. I'll give out a player just to get us rolling on that one. First one is going to be Luis Robert Jr. Luis Robert Jr. of the Chicago White Sox. Let's show him for over half a home run.
My man here,
There you go.
Okay, they all have to be right, but I don't get to decide if they're right. Do I? I was
Anyways, plus 285. Whew. Now, we like him to hit a home run today. He doesn't have any stats against the starting pitcher he'll be facing. On the other side, just to look at Josh Bell. This one play. This is a good play, so keep your eye on this one as well. That's over 1.5 bases for Luis Robert Jr. I'm not going to take it, but one to consider. So here are the picks that we've put up on the screen so far. MLB game picks, a few player prop bets, Luis Robert Jr. For a long ball, long shot of the day, Ronald Acuna Jr. on a stolen base. Y.A. Tittle. Y.A. Tittle, is that one of your celebrity shot picks? Because I am right in line with that one. Nick Castellanos. Let's go look at Nick Castellanos. He has a large sample size against the starting pitcher he'll be facing. Does have some strikeouts, but I think it's like a 290 average, so decent numbers. Tough to take him, though. Don't really see any good plays. Maybe over 1.5 bases, but the sports books are being smart on this one, and this has not been a very consistent ticket. I know against Mitch Keller that he has good stats. Again, yeah, it was 292. Does have a couple home runs. Decently high strikeout rate, like I mentioned, though. Elliot, we will be posting all of our picks to our website immediately after our show concludes. We'll actually probably put them up at about 1:30. Once we do our fantasy football mock draft at 1:30, I'll throw up my picks up on our website, buttfumblesports.com. So those who don't want to watch the mock draft, just want the picks, can find all the picks there. I do like Nick Castellanos. I just don't see any good places to take him. When you can't find a good bet, do not force it. This is actually a good opportunity for me to just speak to you guys about mentality when you're looking for good bets. There might be a player that you really, really like. You think he's going to have a massive day. That's what DFS is for. That's what fantasy sports is for, because sooner or later the sports books wise up. It becomes a tougher play overall. So, guys, make sure you're being wise to that. Don't force your plays. When they're not there, you can't overforce it. You could tell between Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos, we do think the Phillies are going to have a good day. I really didn't take too many plays around that game. Just a little bit cautious on it because of Wheeler, Mitch Keller. I could see it being a pitcher's duel, even though the Phillies have good numbers against Keller. But you can see kind of not a lot of player prop bets that can be available on that play. Let's get to Jorge's question. Jorge's asking about Cody Bellinger. Let's get to him. Let's get to Cody Bellinger and that play. Cody Bellinger, let's look at that. Ah, he's not in here. Cody Bellinger is not put in yet. So, appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you're subscribing. Hope you guys are having a great Sunday. Yeah, I do need a cold one after that. By the way, IP Shade 45 wanted some rants, so I promised you guys I just talked some rants. So now that it's the bottom of the hour, this is what we see every NFL season. The start to the year in camp, there's such optimism. There's such hope. The fans are there. The fantasy football excitement is there. We are all pumped. However, injuries happen. Injuries happen, and immediately we are deflated just a little bit because we think that these teams that we see on paper over June, July, they're going to be the teams that we see kick off in September. It just doesn't happen that way. Kick off in September. Jalen Ramsey going down. It just doesn't happen that way. Obviously, it sounds like Joe Burrow will be okay, but still, him going down, that's substantial. So when you're a fantasy football fan, if you're an NFL fan, take this time with a lot of caution. Don't get your hopes too high. If there's a player you really like, hopefully we see him come week 1, but just be aware that it doesn't matter, by the way, if it's contact or non-contact. This is the time of year where only there are casualties. There aren't any positive stories. So for everyone out there, I know that you're pumped for the NFL season. You know I am too. But Fumble Sports, of course we're pumped for the NFL season. But let's make sure we get from today all the way to week 1 kickoff before we start really believing this is the team we're going to see on the field, before we believe this is the player we should draft or put our money down on. Everybody be cautious. This is the time of year when injuries happen, when our hopes get dashed a little bit, because getting players back on the field doesn't mean anything but the possibility of injury. So just take that with a grain of salt. Did also want to rant for just a few minutes on Colorado leaving the Pac-12, going to the Big 12 or whatever they're going to call themselves with the turnover in teams. All I can say is Deion Sanders is doing right by Colorado, and the Pac-12 is an absolute mess. And if there's any way that you want to kind of figure out how a conference is going, look at their rights deal, look at their TV rights deal. Pac-12 is the last conference to really secure good rights, and they've lost a lot of schools over it. USC, UCLA, now Colorado. Pac-12 is a shell of its former self. Their commissioner has failed them. Their lack of TV rights screwed them over. Look at where the SEC is. Look at where the ACC is. Look at where the Big Ten is. Those conferences are competing for massive checks from TV media companies, from a lot of other places, and yet the Pac-12 got shut out and only has itself to blame. I think Colorado did the right thing. They're just not going to be nearly as competitive as probably the Big 12 will want them to be. Okay, getting back to some of your MLB game picks and questions. Max Muncy to get a walk today. Very interesting question. Max Muncy to get a walk today. Let's look at him on a walk. 49%, plus 105. It's been a really good trend. I'm going to take it. Out of nowhere, IP Shade 45 comes up with a surprisingly good play. Max Muncy, over half a walk. Take it at plus money. Abso-frickin-lutely. Wow, like the find, IP Shade 45. So, user 8483 was asking about the Reds and Dodgers. I'm not going to touch the line on that one. I could see it being around 8-9 runs, so I feel like you're right about the 9.5 under, but I'm just not going to touch it because these are two explosive offenses, and the possibility that they could ultimately rip into one big inning, score 4 or 5 runs in just one inning, I could see happening, so I'm just not going to take that one. Make sure you're tapping that screen as many times as you can on TikTok Live. Once we get up to 2,000 likes, we'll give out another long ball, long shot of the day. If you guys share the channel, we give out a stolen base pick. Content Brody, great to see you. Hit that like button, hit that screen, tap, tap, tap. Let's get those likes up. Let's get to 2,000 likes. I want to give out another long ball, long shot of the day really quickly. Now, while you guys are tapping the screen, let's do our reverse engineering walks allowed. We were already talking about walks, so while you guys are tapping that screen like crazy and hopefully getting us up to 2,000, 4,000, 6,000 likes, let's just put out a bunch of home run picks. While you guys are tapping that screen like maniacs, I'm going to give out some players that I think are going to give out over 1.5 walks today. We talked about Lucas Giolito, a celebrity shot pick from Dante, and I thought it was a good one. I still think it's a good one, and I'm going to put my money down behind it. That's Lucas Giolito over 1.5 walks allowed. Good place to start. Let's keep going. Now, we're looking at the implied probability on these. Brandon Williamson over 1.5 walks allowed. Hasn't been a great trend necessarily. Maybe on the road it has been better, but it's the Dodgers that really have us thinking that this is going to be a better play. He has a tough whip against the Dodgers. I will take Brandon Williamson over 1.5 walks allowed. I do like that on the road against the Dodgers. Let's keep going and walks allowed plays while you tap that screen. Cutter Crawford over 1.5. This is against the Giants. It's an interesting play. There was a time Cutter Crawford was only getting a line of over half a walk. Over half a walk. Now that's bumped up. He's had over 2 walks in back-to-back away games. I'm going to follow the trend, and I'll say that Cutter Crawford goes over 1.5 walks allowed. Let's keep going with this reverse engineering. Again, we're looking at walks allowed by taking the implied probability, seeing who's got the highest. Christian Javier, someone to keep an eye on here. Hot and cold. At home, not as strong a play. Not going to take it. Won't take Christian Javier on that one. We already touched on Lucas Giolito. How about Dane Dunning? How has he been on the road? 50-50, decent trend. Not going to take this one. Not going to take it just because it's the Padres. Adrian Hauser. This is a good trend. This has been a very good trend of late. So let's get Adrian Hauser over 1.5 walks allowed. Another play up on the board for you guys. Let's keep going through these reverse engineering plays. Bobby Miller hasn't been a very good trend. Not of late, at least. How about at home? 3 out of the last 4. I will take it. Bobby Miller over 1.5 walks allowed. Do we have one more to give out? I think we do. Shane McClanahan. Interesting. This has actually been a very good trend. You think of him as a very good pitcher, but it's been a very good trend. I'll take this one as well. Shane McClanahan over 1.5 walks allowed. And that is the last one we're going to go with for our reverse engineering walks allowed plays of the day. Last one I'm going to do, Wheeler, Keller, Cole. Not feeling really strong about any of them. Keller is probably the only other one I'd feel strongly about, but it's at home. Actually, now that I say it, this has been a good play. Never mind. We will give out this last one. Mitch Keller over 1.5 walks allowed. He's been giving them up at home. I didn't realize. Show Me just shared the channel. By the way, here are all of our picks up on the board. Here are all of our MLB game picks. Again, we will post all of our picks up on our website at 1:30 p.m. So when we do our fantasy football mock draft at 1:30, we will also post all of our picks to our website, buttfumblesports.com, and that way you guys can play along, keep track of all the plays that we have, and get those in. If you like them, if you want a tail, if you want a fade, you'll be able to know exactly what we're going with. Now, that said, what is our website? What's the website that we use? This tool that we use to do our research is called Outlier. It's a great sports analytics tool. It is not a sports book, but it connects to the sports books, so you can find some good plays and connect. Alexander, great to see you. Let's get Alexander's soccer plays on the board. Let's get Alexander. Up on here, and Alexander is going with under 2.5 for Italy. Who's Italy playing? Who's in Italy and who? Italy and who? And Italy over half a goal. You are on the board, Alexander. They're playing Sweden. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, Alexander, you are on the board. Okay. We've gotten a few more shares of the channel. Make sure you're tapping that like button. Make sure you're tapping that screen. Let's get some more stolen base picks up on the board. Let's go Trey Turner. See if Trey Turner's up here available. We've done our reverse engineering. We will do a rip of players I think are going to get a strikeout, a rip of players I think are going to hit. So we have those to look forward to. Our NASCAR expert is going to join us at 1 p.m. Eastern, at 1 p.m. EST. He is joining us to give out his picks and analysis for the race this weekend. Trey Turner to get over half a stolen base, 26% implied probability, really strong there. Love the play. So Trey Turner up on our stolen base picks. Additionally, if we think he's getting a stolen base, we think he's getting on base. Over half a hit, not available. Over half a walk, not available. Only other play I might go with is over half a run, 55% implied probability. I will take this. You can just tell across the board on that Phillies game, not too many good player prop bets. Sportsbooks are being very careful about protecting on that one. But over half a run, that is a play we'll go with. B, we did give out some WNBA picks already. If you guys give us that live goal confetti, I'll give out the others. Oh, you gave out a weight. We'll give out a pick, B. Appreciate you giving us the weight. Appreciate you showing us the love. Every time you guys give picks, give gifts, we give picks. Let me give out, I will go with the Mystics, Wings, and I'm going to take the under in that game. I just want to see what the best alternative line is. Mystics, Wings, I'm going under on this one. Alternative line, under 169.5. Under 169.5 for that Mystics Wings game. That's another one. IP Shade 45, thanks for the confetti. Let's give out the rest. Storm, Sky, I'm going to go under in that game. Let's just see where we can get the best alternative line. Storm and Sky. Nope, I'm not a meteorologist. I'm just talking WNBA. Under 166.5. Last pick I'm going to give out for the WNBA. I'm taking the Sky on the money line. Taking the Sky on the money line. Right now, minus 195 on that. Minus the 4.5. I could see if you wanted to take the alternative line. Get this to maybe minus 2.5. But I'll just take them on the money line. Those are all of my WNBA plays. B, appreciate the support. Hope you're having a great day. Let's get Jorge asking about Javi Baez on a strikeout. Boy, oh boy, you guys are doing great work of late. You guys are really putting in the time, putting in the energy, and finding good plays. Do you guys want to do a rip of players we think are going to get a strikeout today? I feel like we're right at that part of the show. We're at about 45 minutes into the show. I feel like it's time to look at the sucky end of life, the butt in the butt fumble sports of life. Let's look at players that we think are going to strike out today. So, this is going to be a rip of players, and specifically, we're looking for over half a strikeout. Over half a strikeout. If it's 1.5, we will take that very rarely. But every once in a while, you just find gold. You find a good play. It's gold, Jerry. It's gold. So, with that said, I'm going to go through a rip of players that we think are either going to have a strikeout or going to go under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, and let's get going with Javier Baez. The answer to Javier, over half a strikeout, super chalky. I mean, I need some water. This is so chalky at minus 280. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank God. That was so much chalkage. But we're still going to take it. We're still going to take Javier Baez over half a strikeout. Tack it on to a leg of a parlay. That's the only way you can take it. But I do love that play. Jorge, it's a great find. It's just super chalky. So, let's keep going. Next player that we like for over half a strikeout. Believe it or not, Nick Castellanos. We talked about him earlier. Oh, it's 1.5. Sportsbooks, very, very good on you. Smart. Let's go to Ryan Mountcastle. 1.5. You can tell the sportsbooks are being smart on this one. Next, let's go to Anthony Santander. Over half a strikeout. super chalky, but we're going to take it because it's over half. But guys, you may not want to tail on this because it is so chalky. It is such a tough play to put down. You only can play it with a leg of a parlay. There is a question, by the way, coming in from one of our other channels, official Rick Ross. By the way, Rick Ross, what's up? Is Tony Gonsolin droppable? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. And that's actually because I think there are opportunities to get good pitchers if you play fantasy baseball out there. I think there are good opportunities where guys were on bad teams. They're about to get traded to good teams. So I think there's some opportunities to pick up some pitchers on the waiver wire. But yes, I actually do think Tony Gonsolin is droppable at this point. Let's keep going with our players we think are going to get a strikeout today or struggle today. We just went through a couple of Orioles. Let's go to a Blue Jay. Matt Chapman, it's 1.5 strikeouts. Wouldn't take that. Next one is Whit Merrifield. Over half a strikeout. Minus 160. 62% implied probability. It's been cashing of late. Put it up there. Love it. Whit Merrifield over half a strikeout. Again, these are all players we think are going to struggle today. They have bad history against the pitcher they're facing. Next one, Dalton Varsho. The hits, runs, RBIs is where we're going to go with this one. Strikeouts was at 1.5, but under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs at minus 140. That's what I'm going to take. So it's Dalton Varsho under 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. So there's another play that I really like for you guys today. Check that one out. Now, is Shohei Ohtani going to play today? I know he got pulled yesterday after just a ridiculous performance. If he is going to play over half a strikeout, I would definitely take it. You may also want to take the under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. The only risk is he could go yard. So, but the strikeout, I think he's going to strike out today at least once. Let's go to the next one. Mickey Moniak. Over half a strikeout, not available. Pete Alonso over half a strikeout. I'm not necessarily going to take this one. I think I'll probably cash, but the under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs might be a good play as well. But I will take the strikeout here. Over half a strikeout. It is chalky though. Pete Alonso over half a strikeout, Chalk City. Next one we're going to look at. Going through all these players we think are going to have a bad day. Mark Canha, over half a strikeout. Oh, I love this play. He has a terrible history against the pitcher he's facing. Mark Canha, over half a strikeout. I'm surprised he's actually hitting today. Let's keep going. Next one we're going to look at is Marcell Ozuna. Marcell Ozuna of the Braves, over half a strikeout. Very good play. 8 out of the last 10. And he's got a bad history of striking out against the pitcher he's facing. Marcell Ozuna, over half a strikeout, I think is a really strong play. That might be one of my favorite plays that we've put up on the board so far. By the way, Jorge, I love Jeff McNeil over half a hit. When we do get to the players we like on over half a hit, I will love that one. I will love that one. By the way, we're getting... we will throw all of our picks up on our website, buttfumblesports.com. Buttfumblesports.com. We will throw all these picks up at about 1:30. I'll post all of these picks. By the way, Mike Torres, I'll get to that play in a minute because I like where your head's at. You're giving me a good play, so I'm not going to avoid that one. Just want to complete the thought on these players that we are going to think are going to strike out or struggle. We're still working through them. Yeah, we've been giving out a ton. That's because there are a lot of players that we like today to strike out or struggle. Alex Bregman, I'll take him on over half a strikeout. Next one that we're going to look at is Randy Arozarena. Again, some kind of big names, but to get over half a strikeout, even the big name guys do it. Randy, not going to take that play. Not advantageous for me. Might want to take the under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, though. Under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs is actually the really strong play here, so I will take that. Randy Arozarena, under 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. I know you guys might be risk averse, but I like that play. Let's go Salvador Perez. Over half a strikeout, good play. Over half a strikeout. Keep going here. Let's go to Patrick Wisdom. Patrick Wisdom, terrible numbers against the pitcher. Yeah, he's probably benched. Let's look at Christopher Morel. He's probably benched. Makes sense. Ian Happ. He's probably benched, or the Cubs haven't shown their lineup yet. Let's go to Marcus Semien. I'm going to go under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs here. I'm going under on Marcus Semien. This is coming in at plus money. So Marcus Semien under 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs at plus money, everybody. Let me give out 2 more of these, and then we'll do that WNBA play that we were just kind of made aware of. Lourdes Gurriel, I'm going to take the under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs as well. Again, plus money. Lourdes Gurriel, under 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs at plus money, everybody. Last 2, maybe? Juan Soto, under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. And on that one, minus 105, so not plus money. Last one we're going to give out, let's see if it's available, is Gary Sanchez. Not available. So anyways, these are all the players that we think are going to struggle today, have a bad day. We'll get to players on the other side of that kind of pendulum in a minute. Once we do our interview with our Formula One expert, we'll go to players we think are going to have a really good day. So plenty of opportunities to get some good parlay plays, some good player prop bets. Now, we were just turned on to a WNBA play not too long ago. McCowan on over. And specifically, you were telling me to focus on the over 8.5 rebounds. It is a good implied probability, just barely. I'll take it. I'll play along with it. Wasn't one that I had prior to the show, so I've got to put those asterisks next to it. Over 8.5 rebounds. We are riding it with Mike Torres 835. Love it. Arctic Tiger, if you can get Ohtani over half a strikeout, take it. Again, we will throw all of these picks up on our website, buttfumblesports.com. Again, that's buttfumblesports.com. We will throw them all up onto our website. Once we've hit about 1:30, we are doing a fantasy football mock draft at 1:30. So there are a couple of people who have joined the mock draft so far. If you guys want to get in on it, make sure you DM us. Buttfumble Sports on Instagram. That's Buttfumble Sports on Instagram. We will share the link with you guys. Again, if you want to be a part of that mock draft, we are doing that at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just DM us on Instagram, Buttfumble Sports, or there should be a link to the mock draft that is pinned to our YouTube, Twitch, and Kick accounts to our live streams. You can hit that link. Should take you right to the mock draft. That way you can claim your team and join the mock draft at 1:30. So, like I said, those picks will be up here. Those picks that we have are going to be up on our website in about a half hour. We will do the mock draft in about a half hour. But our Formula One expert is going to join us in about 5 minutes to go through the race this upcoming Sunday. So make sure you're joining us for that. We do have another share of the channel. So let's give out a couple stolen base picks. First one's going to be Adam Frazier for me. Garrett Cole gives up a lot of stolen bases. Plus, Frazier has good stats against him. Lifetime. So, kind of an attractive play in a number of ways. Let's go to Adam Frazier. Let's look at him for over half a stolen base. I can get that. I think this is a good one. Adam Frazier, over half a stolen base at plus 900. Put a quarter of a unit down on it. Put half a unit down on it. Don't put a full one, but I like this play, actually. Now, let's also look at him for over half a hit. This is a good play against Garrett Cole. He's got good numbers. Let's put it up there. That's Adam Frazier. Let's get him up on the board. Adam Frazier over half a hit. Love that play. Love that bet. There you go, everybody. Let's give out another play that we like. Another stolen base pick that we like. We'll also give out a long ball, long shot of the day. Keep tapping the screen. You guys know what to do. I'm going to go with Bo Bichette. These are kind of some long shot stolen base picks, but I like these because both of these guys have good numbers against the starting pitcher they're facing. They have decent stolen base numbers. I like it. I could get this again at plus 900. Both Adam Frazier and Bo Bichette are plus 900 on stolen bases. I think those are good plays. I'll take it. I'll also take him on over half a hit if I can get it. Nope. Hits, runs, and RBIs is 2.5. Too bad. I'll take the over 1.5 bases. I'll also probably take the over half a run. So Bo Bichette over 1.5 bases. I would also take Bo Bichette over half a run. 52%, but I'm going to take it at minus 110. So Bo Bichette over half a run. Another play for you guys. Let's give out a long ball, long shot of the day. Players we think are going to hit a home run today. I'm going with Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts against Brandon Williamson. I'll take that every frickin' time just because I love the righty-lefty matchup in Mookie Betts' favor. Taking him on over half a home run. Plus 300, 25% implied probability. He hasn't gone yard in about 10 days, so he's definitely due. Not going to say that that's a real good reason to take it, but over half a hit, run RBI not available. Total bases 1.5. Not necessarily the play I would think I like. I really like the over half a run. We've been doing this one as well for Mookie, and it's been cashing consistently. Minus 160 is where I can find it. Let's get Mookie Betts up on the board over half a run. So another pick that we like. I could see the over 1.5 bases hitting as well. So kind of on the fence if I want to take it. Not a great implied probability, but I think he's going to have a good game, so keep your eye on it. Someone's asking about Mitch Keller on hits allowed. Let's look at that one really quick. Mitch Keller on hits allowed. Then I'll give out another home run pick. Hits allowed. 6.5. The under's the stronger play here. So, Jorge, we're viewing it in two different ways. Show Me is going to take Yankees win and Judge on a home run. Let's get Show Me up on our Celebrity Shot big board. Show Me, it's so great to see you back on the show. Show Me is taking Yankees on the money line, and he's also taking Aaron Judge over half a home run. If you guys want your favorite picks of the day put up on our screen, make sure you write in the comment section my celebrity shot or my celebrity pick. Doesn't matter where you're watching, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, or Kick, but Fumble Sports is here to help you guys out. Let's get Jorge up on the board. By the way, our Formula One expert will join us in just a few moments. In just a few moments, he's just settling into a place where he can get good reception, and then he'll be joining us in just a few minutes to go through his favorite race picks and his analysis for the race this upcoming weekend. Jeff McNeil, over half a hit. Love that play, Jorge. I will be taking that one as well. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Braxton Garrett, over 5.5 strikeouts. Okay. Interesting play. Those are up on the board. IP Shade 45, don't worry. We'll get to JT Real Muto. Don't worry. We're going to talk about JT Real Muto in just a little bit. Let me give out another home run pick of the day. Next one I'm going to give out for a home run pick. Might be a bit of a surprise to some of you. Candelario of the Washington Nationals. Let me show Candelario up here. Candelario to hit a home run today. Plus 600. Plus 600. Love that bet. Let me put it down also for over half a hit. Yes, sir. You can put it on the board. Yes, sir. Over half a hit. Love that play. You guys want another long ball, long shot of the day? Let me give one out. Brandon Belt. Brandon Belt to hit a home run. So looking at Brandon Belt of the Blue Jays to go yard. Home runs, plus 480, 17% implied probability. How about on the over half a hit? Oh, you know we love it. Minus 145, taking it. Brandon Belt. Over half a hit. These are good plays. I'm going to keep going. Let's give out another long ball, long shot of the day. Waiting on our Formula One analyst to join us. Once he does, we'll go to him and talk some Formula One racing. But until then, let's get Matt Olson up here for a home run. Matt Olson for over half a home run against Adrian Hauser. 26% implied probability, plus 280 on the odds. Can I get an over half a hit? Yes, I can. Little chalky, though. Not going to take it. How about over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs? It's 2.5. That's interesting. I'll take the over 1.5 bases. That's what I'm ultimately going to land on at minus 110. So again, that's Matt Olson to hit a home run, and Matt Olson over 1.5 bases. Elliot Robinson, great to see you. I was talking about you earlier in the show. Elliot, hit us up. Hit up us, emailed our website, buttfumblesports.com. Great to hear from you, Elliot. Appreciate your support. Yankees on the money line. That's what he's going with. Again, if you guys want to be part of our fantasy football mock draft, make sure you DM us. Make sure you DM us on Instagram. That's buttfumblesports on Instagram. And that way you can join us for our fantasy football mock draft at 1:30. With that said, though, it is time for some Formula One racing information, and to bring us all the storylines that we need to know is our Formula One expert and analyst, Nick Rodecap. You can find him on Twitter at Nick, NICKRODECAP. Nick, how are you doing on this Friday?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Oh, you know we're having a great day, and it's made even better because we have a great Formula One race this upcoming Sunday. Break it down for us. First of all, as I always like to do, just give us a macro view of where we are overall in the race schedule. I know we're in the Max Verstappen what am I trying to say? Crowning, coronation is what I'm trying to say. But where are we in the overall season, and where does this race kind of fall into it?
Sure. This is the final race before the month-long summer break. So we're at the middle part, actually the final part, I should say, of the European leg. We have 2 more races after this in Europe, and then we're in Asia and in North America, and then we go back to the Middle East for a couple more races at the end of the season. As far as Belgium itself, it's a track that historically has been marred by rain, especially if you think back to 2021 when the race was actually canceled because of rain. Rain is a problem this weekend. Belgium is a notoriously dangerous track, and there actually have been talks of the Grand Prix this weekend being canceled if the rainy conditions are too dangerous for the drivers. Now, I think the worst rain was supposed to hit today, so hopefully that's not a problem. Now, given that this is a sprint race weekend, we had qualifying today, and drivers only had 1 free practice session. So it'll be interesting to see, depending on the changeable conditions. We saw qualifying today go from wet to dry, and it'll be interesting to see how teams have set their cars up. As for the number of races that we have left, we've got 10 races left in the season after this one, with races in the Netherlands and Italy immediately following the summer break. Then we'll go to Singapore, Japan, Qatar, Austin, Texas, then Mexico, Brazil, Las Vegas, and finishing things up in Abu Dhabi. So that's kind of where we are in the season right now.
Now, you mentioned that this track is notoriously dangerous, and we've actually had some casualties on this track, correct?
That is correct, yes.
So, given its history and given the conditions, give us the actual likelihood that you think that we're going to actually see some racing this coming Sunday.
Well, I looked at the preliminary forecast a couple days ago, and it looked like the worst rain was supposed to be on Friday. Now, that's already come and gone in Belgium, and I want to look at an up-to-date forecast. Of course, the FIA will always prioritize driver safety, especially with hypervigilance in recent years. But looking at the forecast here, the news is good. The worst of the rain looks like it did hit today. We'll see a little bit of rain and cloud cover primarily on Saturday. That's for the sprint race. And we have a 25% chance for rain on race day, but there is a very high likelihood that we'll actually have sunshine, meaning it's looking pretty good for actually having racing on Sunday.
Now, just to continue the thought, why is this track so dangerous? Is it because of the slick conditions when it rains, or is it actually because of how the track is constructed and that maybe lends itself to a more dangerous situation when moisture is included?
It's because of the sheer scale of the track and its location in the Belgian countryside. The primary dangerous corner is a corner that's actually made up of two separate curves. It's Al Rouge and Radion. It's a steep, blind left to right flick that you're taking flat out at about 175 miles an hour.
Wow.
And when you hit the peak of the hill, there's a straight called the Camel Straight. And if you go to the right side of the runoff area at the top of Radion, there actually isn't a whole lot of runoff area over there. Now, the reason for that is because behind the wall, behind the tire barrier that they have built up there, basically it just drops straight down. There's no real probability of the runoff being expanded. And because of that lack of runoff, if a driver crashes at the top of Radion, then he probably will pinball back onto the track. And with drivers coming up that blind crest, it's almost impossible to react at the speeds that they're carrying. That was the reason that we saw Antoine Hubert die at the Formula 2 race in 2019. And it was also a big part of Delano Van Toff's death earlier this month in the Formula Regional Europe race. I think it was on like July 1st or 2nd.
And I don't think that people are aware enough of just how dangerous this track is, at least to, again, the casual fan like myself, which has me actually, and I hate to say it this way, even more intrigued. It has me wanting to watch because that element of danger is increased in this weekend's race. And you add the possibility of moisture in the air and rain. It actually intensifies my interest in the race. I know that may make me kind of, the ultimate rubbernecker of Formula One, but it actually kind of intrigues me as to who's going to come out of this race unscathed. Now, to that point, who are some of the drivers that you think are going to manage this track well? And on the other side, who are some drivers that you think are going to have a real difficulty with this Belgian track?
Well, historically speaking, Max Verstappen has been very strong here. If we remember back to last year, and this actually
surprise, by the way, that Max is strong somewhere.
Yeah, it's actually one of his home races is Belgium. The thing that makes him such a threat is the straight line speed of his car. Now, a big part of this relies on the track staying dry, but we saw it last year. Verstappen took an engine penalty, started from 14th on the grid, charged all the way through the field because his car with DRS open, that's the rear wing flap that drivers get to open when they're within 1 second of the car ahead, his DRS gave him so much of a straight line speed advantage that none of the other cars in the midfield and even the upper part of the field had a chance. He has a 5-place grid penalty because he took a new gearbox for this weekend, so he'll start 6th, even though he qualified pole. I'm expecting him, honestly, to do the same thing he did last year. However, Charles Leclerc qualified 2nd. Now, he was 7/10 off Max Verstappen's time, but Leclerc was strong in Belgium last year. I think he had either a pit lane speeding penalty or Ferrari messed something up on the strategy. I can't remember which. McLaren looks like they've taken a little bit of a step back. Now, this was kind of expected because I mentioned the teams will set up their cars different ways. McLaren opted for much more rear downforce. Now, they're relying on probably Sunday, race day, being a little bit more rainy than it is sunny. And they'll also be able to make up time in the middle sector, which relies primarily on cornering ability, but they'll get caught out hugely on the main straight, and I mentioned on the Kemmel straight as well. I don't expect McLaren to continue the run that they've had. I said the same thing in Hungary last week, and they proved me wrong, but this is a track that, with the way their car is set up, I don't think suits them very well.
You mentioned we're about to go into a month-long summer break. How does that impact this race? Is there anything about either the strategy, the makeup of the car, is there any real impact that has, or is it just a note in the scheduling?
Well, I think that I do not believe that the teams can do any work for at least the first 2 or 3 weeks during the summer break. I think for the teams as they approach this weekend, this is sort of a good place for them to see where they stand, whether or not they want to continue developing their cars for this season. So if we look at, say, Mercedes, or if we look at even McLaren or Aston Martin, I guess would be a better pick. If Aston Martin keeps sliding down the order like they have, I mean, they were the second best car in the early part of the season, and they've just kind of been nowhere. If they continue that trend, I expect them to say, hey, we're done developing this season's car. We're going to focus on 2024, and we're basically just going to write off this season. On the flip side of that, if you're Red Bull, if you have a clean sweep this weekend, you win the sprint, you win the Grand Prix, and get fastest lap, you're pretty much locked in for the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships either way. So they could probably say, hey, we're in the same boat as Aston Martin. We're going to just stop developing this year's car because we already have so much of an advantage. On the flip side, you might see some teams try to catch those other squads napping, for instance, say Ferrari. They've had a nice turn of form recently. They could be like, hey, we're going to push for third or second in the Constructors' Championship. We're not quite done yet.
We're just getting a comment in from TikTok Live from one of our loyal viewers. Jorge says Leclerc finishing top 5 is plus 250. You got to agree that's a take it kind of play, right?
Yeah, honestly, I think so. Leclerc he won his second career race at Spa in 2019. He was very strong in the race last year, and Ferrari historically has been good when it comes to tracks that rely on engine power and straight line speed. I think that's something that is very much in play for Sunday.
If you guys want to check out all of the notes, storylines, and picks that our Formula One expert, Nick Rodecap, has on our website, you can go to buttfumblesports.com. You can check out his Formula One article. He does a brilliant job breaking down racing for us every single race week. Want to give him a big shout out. Again, you can find him on Twitter at Nick Rodecap. That's at NickRodecap. Nick, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the race this weekend.
Absolutely. As always, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
That was our Formula One expert. Hope you enjoyed that conversation. Again, for all of those who want to get in on our fantasy football mock draft that we will be doing in about 15 minutes, everybody, in about 15 minutes, hit us up on Instagram. That's Butt Sports on Instagram. Butt Sports on Instagram. We have 4 teams claimed in our 10-team PPR snake mock draft. We will be doing that in about 15 minutes, everybody. So if you want to get in on this fantasy football mock draft that we will be doing in about 15 minutes, DM us at Butt Sports on Instagram. One more time, that's Butt Sports on Instagram. Just DM us there. I'll share a link with you guys so you could participate in that mock draft. That is at 1:30. We still have picks to give out. Here are all of our MLB game picks that we've given out so far. I'm going to give out the rest of them right now. Hope you guys are ready because we're about to drop a ton of picks over the next 15 minutes. Game picks, player prop bets, home run picks, and stolen base picks. I'm about to empty the proverbial bucket on you guys, give out all of my picks right now, and then we will post them to our website right before the mock draft. So get ready, buckle up, because it is pick giving time. You guys ready? Let's go. Twins, Royals, yes to a run in the first inning. Twins and Royals, yes to a run in the first inning. We will also take the Royals plus 1.5. I just want to make sure, just in case we could get it at an even better spot. Sometimes you can get Royals plus 2.5. I think we can. Royals plus 2.5 is a better play. So let's tack it on. Royals plus 2.5. Let's also go Athletics, Rockies, yes to a run in the first inning. I will also take the Athletics to cover. Again, this is one. Can I get it at 2.5? If I can, I would. Nope, it's just 1.5. That's where I'll take it. Let's keep going. Next one. Padres, first 5 on the money line. Padres, first 5 on the money line. I'll also take Padres on the overall money line. I have 5 more MLB game picks to give out. 4 more, actually. 4 more. Let's go Dodgers, first 5 on the money line, and Dodgers on the money line. And the last 2 MLB game picks I have are going to be Red Sox plus 1.5 and Red Sox Giants no run in the first inning. Red Sox and Los Gigantes no run in the first inning. So those are all of my MLB game picks that I've put up on the board. You can see all of them. We will also, like I mentioned, we will put all of these up on our website in about 15 minutes in case you missed them. Of course, that's when we will be doing our fantasy football mock draft, so make sure you're DMing us, Fumble Sports, on Instagram to get a link to join that fantasy football mock draft. Let me give out a bunch of more home run picks that I like. So let's switch on over to the player prop bets. Let's take a look. This is players we think are going to hit a home run. The next one that we are going to give out is going to be Austin Riley. Austin Riley to hit a home run. Good numbers against the starting pitcher that he'll be facing. Home run, 19% implied probability, plus 420. Let's get him up on the board, everybody. Austin Riley, over half a home run. Additionally, can we get him on over half a hit as well? 1.5. Hits, runs, RBIs, 2.5. No real good plays here. The only other one I might consider is over half an RBI. I'd actually take it at the plus money. So Austin Riley over half an RBI. I know it's a riskier play. Austin Riley over half an RBI. Take it at the plus money. There you go. Let's give out another long ball, long shot of the day. Next one we're going to give out is Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton to hit a home run. Let me show you him up on the board. Byron Buxton to go yard. For him to hit a home run, 21% implied probability, plus 375. How about, can we get him on over half a hit? Yes, we can. Minus 210, a little chalky, but I'm going to take it. That's Byron Buxton over half a hit. Last home run pick I'm going to give out. Last home run pick I'm going to give out for today's show is going to be, drum roll please, Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo has good numbers against this starter. Let's look at Joey Gallo. First of all, can I get him? No, he's not up on the board, so he's not available. Not available. Too bad. So we rip him off. Those are all of our home run picks for the day up on the screen. So if you guys like good home run picks, there you go. Has the Cardinals-Cubs starters been announced? I don't believe so, actually. Diego, we're going to have to keep checking in on that. Let's give out a couple more stolen base picks, and then I'm going to do a rip of players that I think are going to get a hit run RBI, something like that. Let's look at Travis Jankowski. Travis Jankowski to get a stolen base. Let's look at it. Travis Jankowski, over half a stolen base. 24% implied probability, plus 320. Love it. Over half a hit, minus 190. Love that. Let's get it up there. Travis Jankowski, over half a hit. Boom. Can we get another stolen base play? Sure we can. Corbin Carroll. This is going to be our second to last stolen base pick of the day. We'll have one more after this. 30% implied probability. Love it. Let's get Corbin Carroll up here. Corbin Carroll over half a stolen base. Oh, we don't need to do that. It's in the stolen base section. Let's also look at him for over half a hit. Is it available? Over half a hit is, but it's too chalky. Hits, runs, RBIs would be the other one I would take. Over 1.5, I would take it. So that's Corbin Carroll. Over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. Last stolen base pick we're going to give out for today's show. Last one we're going to give out will be Kyle Tucker, believe it or not. Kyle Tucker to get a stolen base. Good numbers against the starter. He actually is a better stolen base guy than you think. Everyone thinks of his power, but he swipes plenty of bags. Kyle Tucker, let's go to over half a stolen base. Plus 470. Love it. Great play. think it absolutely could cash over half a hit. We will take it at minus 220. It's a little too chalky, but we will take it. So that's Kyle Tucker over half a hit. And the leg of a parlay. Okay, Mickey Moniak is on a hit streak. I'd take him. Diego, we got you. Understood. Jorge, would I take Buxton over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs? Yes, I would, Jorge. Yes, I would. Yep. Now, let's do a rip of players like I promised that I think are going to have a really good day. This is a group of hitters that we think are going to have a good day, that have good stats against the starting pitcher they're facing. Additionally, if you guys want to get in on our fantasy football mock draft that is going to go off in about 10 minutes, make sure you hit us up. DM us on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. DM us. We will give you a link so you can participate in that mock draft. But until 1:30, we are going to continue giving out player prop bets. We're looking for over half a hit if we can find it. JT Realmuto, we love him today. Taking him not over half a hit, but over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Yes, I would. JT Realmuto over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Let's go to the next one. Again, I'd like to take him on over half a hit. If I can't, it'll be hits, runs, and RBIs. I'll put them both up here so we can just see them all and rip through a bunch of these players. Austin Hayes, next one. Over half a hit, minus 210. That's what I would take. Austin Hayes, over half a hit. Leg of a parlay play. Yep, but I would take it. I would take it. Next one that we'll go to is Gunnar Henderson. Over half a hit. Yep, minus 210. I would take it. Leg of a parlay. Next one that we're going to go to. We talked about Bo Bichette already. We will also now look at Alejandro Kirk. Not available, might not be playing today. Next one is Mike Moustakas. Mike Moustakas over half a hit. Yep, I'd take it. Over half a hit. Mike Moustakas over half a hit. You could get it at minus 165. Minus 165. Next one that we're going to look at is going to be Jeff McNeil. Over half a hit. It's a great play. I would absolutely take it. I also take the over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. So I'm doubling up on Jeff McNeil. McNeil, over half a hit. Leg of a parlay. Jeff McNeil, over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Like that play as well. We are going to continue to rip through some of these player prop bets. Guys, we like to get a hit or over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Before we do our mock draft in just a little bit. Jose Ramirez, don't like the over half a hit, too chalky. Over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, I do like. So Jose Ramirez, over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Let's keep going. We're having too much fun to stop. Let's get to Jose Altuve. From one Jose to another, Jose Altuve, over half a hit at minus 225. That's all I'm going to take on it. Okay, continuing to look at players that we like. What about Jeremy Pena? Is Jeremy Pena available today? Let's take a look. Jeremy Pena, over half a hit. Not liking it, but over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, I do like. So Jeremy Pena, over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Again, we're doing our fantasy football mock draft in just a few minutes. So if you want to get in on the mock draft, DM us, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. That's Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. To find K-Line. Let's see if you want to join that fantasy football mock draft. Let's see. To find K-Line just hit us up. Let's see if he wants to get in on this fantasy football mock draft. You guys have the chance, so let us know. Next person we're going to look to for over 1.5 hits or over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, Carlos Correa. Over, nope, not going to take it, no good plays. Next one we're going to look at is Trevor, nope. Let's go to Cody Bell, nope. Ian, go, nope. The Cubs are not available yet. The Cubs are not available, but there's a bunch of Cubs that I like, so you're going to want to find the Cubs later in the day. Over half a hit for Xander, I'll take it. It is chalky, though. Xander Bogaerts, over half a hit. It is technically the leg of a parlay. Just a few more picks that we're giving out, and all of them are Dodgers. All of them are Dodgers. We already gave out Mookie. Let's go to Freddie Freeman. Over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Yeah, we're going to take that for Freddie. Freddie Freeman. Over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. Let's go to the next one. J.D. Martinez. J.D. Martinez. Over half a hit. Decent play. I would take it. J.D. Martinez. Over half a hit. Leg of a parlay it. And finally, the last one that I do like is going to be Will Smith. Will Smith. Over half a hit, yes, but over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, I'm going to take as well. Will Smith, over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. And those are all of our plays, everybody. Believe it or not, we've just ripped through a bunch of them. 24/7 Sports. Marlins and Twins was your question. So when it came to that Marlins game, here are the picks up on the screen. We're actually taking the Tigers to cover. Doesn't mean we don't like the Marlins on the money line. Just means we like the Twins, the Tigers to cover a little bit more. On the other side, I actually feel the same way about the Royals. So I like both of those underdogs to cover. Not telling you to not take the money line plays, just letting you guys know. Okay, we are going to throw all of these picks up onto our website. So buttfumblesports.com. If you want to check out all of the picks that we just dropped, I am copying them over right now. All of our picks for the day. We are going to put those all up on our website, buttfumblesports.com. That way you can check out all of the picks that we just dropped on you guys. So again, that's buttfumblesports.com. We are posting all the picks that we have given out during the show, so you guys can go peruse that, check it out, make the picks that you want, but that way you know exactly what Butt Fumble Sports is thinking today. And by the way, that article is live. So if you guys want to check out all the picks that we just gave out during the show today, you can go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, scroll on down, and there are picks to be found. Everybody, go check out our website. Those picks are up. You can go check that out. There you see, man of my word here, the picks have been published. So if you want to go check out our picks, you can go find them at buttfumblesports.com. One more time, that is buttfumblesports.com. All of our picks are there. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter. Make sure you check out the store. Would love to have you guys pick out a t-shirt and go grab one. With that said, we have given out a ton of picks today. It's amazing how many picks we give out every single show, every single day. You know us. We do our work here at Butt Fumble Sports so you can cash a lot of tickets and hopefully have a lot of fun in the process. But as we do almost every single day, we do a fantasy football mock draft in the final half hour of our show. So if you guys want to get in on this fantasy football mock draft, final 2 minutes before we do it, everybody, we are doing a fantasy football mock draft, a 10-team PPR snake draft. It is a mock draft. Last opportunity to get in on this. If you want to join us, Butt Fumble Sports, we are doing a mock draft. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slots filled, 4 more teams available. We'll give you 1 more minute. So if you want to DM us, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Again, on Instagram, just DM us, Butt Fumble Sports, if you want to get in on this fantasy football mock draft. We are doing a 10-team PPR fantasy football mock draft. We will do that for the final half hour of the show. Looks like everybody has claimed the team that wants to be a part of it. So everybody, welcome in. We do a mock draft almost every single day here at Butt Fumble Sports. By the way, if you're in different league sizes, if you have different scoring systems, if you do a snake draft versus auction, do not fret. Butt Fumble Sports is going to cover every kind of draft that you could possibly have. 8-team, 10-team, 12-team, even 14. We'll do PPR, half PPR, and no PPR. We will do an auction draft this weekend, everybody. So if you guys want to participate in that, make sure you DM us. That said, it is time. Let us randomize the draft order. Draft order randomized. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Randomized. We have a lot of empty spots going early in the draft. So a lot of you guys who are actually participating are on the back end of the draft. Let me resize our screen so everybody can watch all of the picks that we drop over the next 30 minutes or so. Everybody, you ready to go? Getting our draft started, and we are live. Team 1 goes first and takes McCaffrey. IP Shade 45 is on the board and takes Justin Jefferson. Interesting, wide receiver goes Jorge the GOAT, now going next. Jorge the GOAT has Chase, Eckler, Kelsey, Kupp, Hill, a lot of different options across the board. Let's see where he goes. He goes Austin Eckler. Feel like that's a pretty good pick, especially given the injury to Joe Burrow. I don't like the position I'm in right now. I definitely feel a little bit of reachage coming my way. So I will reach, and I will take Nick Chubb. I want to get a running back. Jamar Chase still hasn't gone. Clearly the Joe Burrow news impacting that, as Jamar Chase has now made it to the 7th pick of the first round. That just tells you that quarterback, it does matter, everybody. It does matter. Well, where will El Pinche go? Will El Pinche go with Jamar Chase? No, he goes Bijan Robinson. That's what I was thinking he might. Running back going off the board. We've only had 2 wide receivers taken, and neither one is Jamar Chase. Will Kyle finally take Jamar Chase? Let's see. Kyle is on the clock. Interesting question here. Do you take Jamar Chase? Do you go after a running back? Working our way through the first round of a 10-team PPR league. Again, this is a PPR league, which does make Eckler, McCaffrey, Robinson maybe a bit more valuable to you fantasy owners. Kyle will take Jamar Chase. Gave some good thought to it, but Jamar Chase is finally off the clock in the number 8 spot. So he did fall because of the Joe Burrow calf injury. Very interesting there. Bo Nose is now on the clock, making his first selection. This is a tough one now. Tyreek Hill, Diggs, Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, CeeDee Lamb. Looks like wide receiver is the popular play. He goes with Travis Etienne. Definitely a reach, but in a PPR league, not bad. Gets his 2 running backs. Team 10 went Barkley and Hill. Kyle is back on the clock. Let's see where Kyle goes after going with Jamar Chase with his first pick. Notice how many running backs have come off the board, everybody. Running back is definitely a position. I mentioned it to you guys before. If you don't have 2 running backs by probably the end of the 4th round, you're doing something wrong. Kyle takes Jonathan Taylor. Nice pick. CeeDee Lamb goes next. A run on wide receiver. Lamb, Diggs, and Brown. A bit surprised by that. Patrick Mahomes is available and appears to be the top of the board. I'm not going to take wide receiver. I'm not going to take quarterback right now. Feels like a bit of a reach. I will stay with my running back position. I'm going to take a bit of a chance here. I'm going to go with Breece Hall, and I'm just going to kind of take a bit of a chance that he's going to be ready by week 1. But I'd rather lock into my running backs right now and get the 2. By the way, you're totally right, Diego. If Jamar Chase has Joe Burrow healthy week 1, Jamar Chase going 8 overall in the first round is absolutely a steal. This is why we should kind of monitor the health status of some of these players, because I think there will be an abundance of overreaction by some fantasy football owners to avoid a player who might be catching passes from Joe Burrow, when in reality, this calf injury may not be a problem by week 1. Josh Jacobs comes off the board next, as Jorge the GOAT follows Butt Fumble Sports. We both have 2 running backs. IP Shade 45 is on the clock next. Justin Jefferson. IP Shade 45 goes Garrett Wilson. So the run on wide receiver, Wilson and Adams. Team 1 took Henry. IP Shade 45 gets a running back in Ramondre Stevenson. Jorge the GOAT already has 2 running backs. Will he triple down on running backs? Will he go towards wide receiver? There has been a big run on wide receiver. He goes Tony Pollard. Very interesting. Notice, 3 running backs taken in a row. Make it 4. I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs. So I've got 3 starting running backs. By the way, Team 6 takes Josh Allen as the first quarterback off the board. This is the first mock draft we've done in which Mahomes is not the first quarterback taken. So Allen goes first. This run on wide receiver continues, though. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Waddle go next. At the wide receiver position, starting to run out of those top options. But then again, running back getting kind of slim there too. If you don't have your 2 running backs by the end of the 4th round, I think you're making a mistake as a fantasy football owner. Wide receiver, even in a PPR league, I still don't think is as valuable as a running back, a number 1 running back. So loading up on those number 1 running backs, I don't think you can do wrong by that. That's why I went with all 3, especially because between Chubb, Hall, and Gibbs, I could see one of them getting hurt. Aaron Jones goes next. Then we turn the corner into round 4. Let's show you Mahomes came off the board. Run on wide receiver, Ridley, Olave, and Smith. Kyle is going next. Kyle has 1 wide receiver, 2 running backs. We have had 2 quarterbacks taken. Both went in the 3rd round. Just a note for you guys, if you're looking at quarterback, notice that they both went in the 3rd round was when the first quarterbacks went. Travis Kelce went in the 1st. Haven't seen a tight end taken since. Let's see where Kyle goes with this 4th overall pick. He goes Kenneth Walker III and gets a 3rd running back. El Pinche goes running back. Team 6 went with Higgins, and then our 3rd quarterback off the board goes to Team 5. I have to go wide receiver. I'll go DK Metcalf and consider it a steal to get Chubb, Hall, and Gibbs with my first 3 and still have Metcalf sitting there. I love that pick. So he'll be my number 1 wide receiver. I'm sure Jorge the GOAT was probably thinking along the same lines. Where will Jorge go? Probably towards wide receiver or tight end, given that he has 3 running backs already. Again, I think if you're not getting a top tight end, you can wait on that position. Same goes for quarterback. If you're not getting one of the top 1 or 2 guys at that position, you may be able to afford to wait until later rounds, continue to get depth at wide receiver and at running back, the 2 most important positions usually in terms of production. Amari Cooper goes next by Jorge. IP Shade 45 has 2 really good stud wide receivers with Jefferson and Wilson as his first 2 picks. Went Ramondre Stevenson 3rd overall. Would expect him to go running back here, but starting to run out of good running backs because a couple of guys... Oh, he went tight end. Interesting. The run on tight end just happened. Andrews and Hawkinson. By the way, Team 1, look at his starting lineup. Pretty solid. IP Shade 45 goes with J.K. Dobbins next. By the way, Dwayne Lewis, thanks so much for following us. Appreciate all of those who follow Butt Fumble Sports. Terry McLaurin goes next by Jorge. Looking at wide receiver, because it's a PPR league, I think getting Deebo Samuel here is an absolute steal. Love that pick. So Metcalf and Samuel together, love it. Pierce goes next to Team 5. Team 6 takes Drake London. El Pinche gets a quarterback with Justin Fields. Interesting that Justin Fields is the 5th quarterback taken off the board. Kyle is the next on the clock. We are in the 5th round. Final few picks of the 5th round. This is a 15-round PPR snake draft featuring 10 teams. Make sure you hit the like button on the video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're following Butt Fumble Sports. We do a mock draft almost every single day. If you guys want to participate in that mock draft every day, just DM us on Instagram. That's Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Keenan Allen goes next to Kyle. Interesting pick. His 2nd wide receiver. Bo Nose is now on the clock. He has 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, so he can go in a number of different directions here. Bo Nose has some flexibility. As we turn the corner, Bo Knows takes Lamar Jackson. I do like that pick, getting him where you did. Jerry Jeudy and Moore go next. Dallas Goedert. So Bo Knows has really kind of completed his starting lineup outside of kicker and defense. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a quarterback, and a tight end. Bo Knows has done a nice job. I'm not crazy about Dallas Goedert, but think you've done a nice job in this draft, Bo Knows. Diego, I think Lamar is going to be an MVP caliber player this year. Maybe on the fringes, top 5, but I love Lamar Jackson, so I'm big on that. Run on tight end. Are we seeing it? Goddard and Kittle go back to back here. Let's see where El Pinche goes. El Pinche. He goes with tight end. So a run on tight end there with Kyle Pitts. Who's left at the tight end position? Darren Waller, Evan Ingram. I'll go with Ingram. I just don't want to get shut out. I have 3 running backs. I have 2 wide receivers. Normally, I would say wait on the tight end, but I just don't want to get shut out, so I'll take Evan Ingram, and I can always get a second one later in the draft. But I just feel like the run on tight end, a bit too strong right now, especially since we already had Kittle taken by one team. There's only 2 teams that haven't taken a tight end yet. So I was just making sure that I got Evan Ingram, one of the tight ends I really like this year. I actually think Ingram will benefit from having Calvin Ridley on the offense with him. Opens up some more passing opportunities, single coverage opportunities for Ingram. Jorge goes Miles Sanders. IP Shade 45 goes Justin Herbert. Hopkins and Williams both go to Team 1 before Madison goes to IP Shade 45. Jorge the GOAT goes with Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. Too bad. That's where I was going to go next, was Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. I'm going to take a bit of a chance. I will take Dak Prescott here. Not crazy about it. Feel like the interceptions could get the better of him. But I think quarterbacks are just going a little bit earlier in the draft than I expected. Quarterbacks, normally I like to wait till round 10 to try to get a quarterback, but they're just going a bit too early. Kind of makes me wary. I don't want to get shut out, especially in this one. A lot of people took a quarterback earlier than I expected. Swift and Williams are the next 2 players taken. El Pinche is now on the board. He has gone in 4 different directions. He took a wide receiver, then a running back, Fields, the quarterback, and now Pitts, tight end. He goes Michael Pittman, so he is the Pitts, literally, Pittman and Pitts. Kyle goes to Deshaun Watson. That was the other pick I was considering. It was between Prescott and Deshaun Watson, so not a bad play there. Isaiah Pacheco, nice. Bo Knows is having a nice draft. Team 10 goes Akers and Ayuk. Bo Knows goes Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'm telling you, Bo Knows is having a phenomenal draft right now. I think Bo Knows is having a really strong draft. Love what you're doing, Bo Knows. Kyle, let's see what Kyle does with this pick. He goes Tyler Lockett, so a couple of Seahawk wide receivers off the board. El Pinche makes his pick in this 8th round of our fantasy football mock draft. Again, this is a PPR league. Kamara, White, Connor, bunch of running backs taken. I already have 3 running backs, so I don't really need to sweat it too much. But because I actually already have 3, I'm going to be a cheeky mofo. I'm going to draft Dalvin Cook and stash him. That is a draft and stash. I already have 3 running backs. It shuts out some of the other guys out there in the draft who are looking for a running back. No matter where he lands, that's my 4th running back. My running back depth is really strong. I didn't feel like there were other players out there, either at wide receiver or tight end, that could match the kind of production Cook could. So I actually really like that pick. Again, pairing Chubb, Hall, Gibbs, and getting Dalvin Cook as kind of an insurance policy. Draft, bench him. I could draft and trade him too. If he goes to like the Dolphins or the Bills, that might be an attractive trade target. Christian Kirk goes next. So Jorge the GOAT doubling down on that Jaguars offense. IP Shade 45 now on the clock. Working our way through a fantasy football mock draft for all of you fantasy owners, trying to give you guys a sense of where players are going, which round has a run on a certain position, how you should value certain players against one another. Man, Team 1 is loaded up on wide receivers of late. IP Shade 45 has gone back-to-back running backs from the NFC North. Let's see where IP Shade 45 goes with this 9th round pick. IP Shade 45, you just took the guy I wanted. IP Shade 45, you are officially on the poop list from Butt Fumble Sports. Great pick by IP Shade 45. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about Zay Flowers. I am very high on him. So IP Shade 45, you have challenged our friendship. We will remain friends, but it's going to be a struggle. Now, wide receiver, I really don't like Mike Evans that much, but given where I'm getting him in round 9, I think it is good value. It's a PPR league, so I will take Mike Evans. But again, that's as a bench wide receiver, so don't think of me taking him as a wide receiver too. Think of me definitely getting him as an insurance policy on the bench. El Pinche goes Jordan Addison. I like that pick. He was the other one I was considering. I just like Mike Evans a little bit more, knowing that he's, not necessarily a wide receiver 1, but a wide receiver 2 on that team. Jordan Addison still has to kind of learn the offense, earn that trust with Kirk Cousins. Kyle takes Jerick McKinnon. Bo knows, who I keep praising for a really strong draft. Let's see where he goes with his last pick of the 9th round. Team 10 to finish out the 9th round. This is a 10-round mock draft, PPR league. If any of you guys want to join our mock draft, we do one almost every day. Just DM us on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports. Bo knows gets Kirk Cousins. I like that pick, especially as a backup to Lamar Jackson. Phenomenal. And you got Dalton Kincaid, the tight end I'm really crazy about. That's a great pick. Bo knows is having a fantastic draft, everybody. Keep your eyes on that one. No, Bo knows you're doing really well. Doing a good job. Kyle goes David Njoku. That's a really good tight end pick. Again, as insurance for George Kittle. We've talked about this a little bit. Drafting a second tight end just to get a little bit of depth. Now, I'm not going to do that because I still need maybe some depth at the wide receiver position. Tony, Cooks, Thomas, and Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to take Juju. I'll take Juju with Mac Jones. Probably not where I would have gone in a lot of mocks, but want to try out something else. Let's go Juju and take him there. But there's a collection of about, I would say, 5 wide receivers that I think are kind of interesting to take as a flyer. Juju, Tony, Cooks, Thomas. I think Davis and Cortland Sutton shouldn't be thrown out either. So Jorge the GOAT goes with Brandon Cooks. Not a bad pick. IP Shade 45 now on the clock. He takes Rice. A lot of people are talking about Rice with the Kansas City Chiefs. Gibson and Davis go next for Team 1 as we are now in round 11. Final 5 rounds of the draft. IP Shade 45. Let's see where he goes. IP Shade 45. Charbonnet goes back to that rookie running back. Jamal Williams comes off the clock next. I'm going to stay with my wide receiver. I'm just going to take Kadarius Toney on a flyer. Tua goes next to Team 5, who is waiting on a second quarterback. Interesting from Team 5. Robinson then goes. Anthony Richardson goes to El Pinche. Doesn't sound like Richardson's going to see too much of the field early in the year, but maybe back half of the year could be a sleeper pick. Kyle takes Aaron Rodgers. A bunch of you guys are drafting a second quarterback. I think that's really smart. Getting 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends, kind of playing them off of one another. I think that is a good strategy for this fantasy football season. Bo knows, who I've been praising throughout the draft. Let's see where he goes with his next pick. Damian Harris, Penny, P. Ryan, a rip on running backs rather. Michael Thomas. Bo knows that's a really good pick in the 12th round. Really like that. Really like that. Really smart. Kyle, next up on the clock. Again, 12th round of a 15-round mock draft. Sutton goes next. El Pinche on the board. El Pinche takes the Cowboys defense. I was wondering when the first defense was going to be taken. I am going to take a defense now that the first one's been taken. We're right at that point. Rounds 12, 13, 14. I think it's okay to take a defense. I will take the 49ers defense and lock that in. I know there's going to be a run on defense in one of these rounds. I just don't want to be on the backside of it. So I will maybe take the 49ers one round early, but I'm okay with that. I think the run on defense probably happens, if not this round, the next round, with 2 already off the board. Jorge the GOAT, where's he going to go? Is he going to go defense? He does. Eagles goes next. Kyle, I love the trash talk we're seeing from Kyle Klein. He's hating on Bo Nose's team. I love it. Jorge went Eagles defense. Where will IP Shade 45 go? He goes Russell Wilson. Really surprising pick from IP Shade 45. Did not expect Russell Wilson. He then takes a kicker. He goes Justin Tucker, so the first kicker is off the board. Will we see a run on kicker in this round? Very interested to see how that plays out. Will we see a run on kicker? Jorge goes with Butker. I'm not going to double down. I'm not going to take a kicker. I'm going to double down on defense, and I'm going to be a real SOB to all of those who don't have a defense yet. I got the 49ers. I'll also take the Jets, and I'll play the 2 off of one another. So the run on defense better happen soon, because now defenses are starting to become fewer and fewer. El Pinche did get the Cowboys last time. I think that is a good play. Where does El Pinche go with his 13th round pick? By the way, we will recap the entire draft in case you missed anything. El Pinche goes with a kicker, McPherson. Kyle, he needs a defense. He needs kicker. Let's see where he goes. Only 3 rounds left, 3 picks to go. So you got to get those 2 positions locked in. He goes Bills defense, Bo Nose. He's got a couple options at defense. Ravens, Dolphins, Steelers, Patriots, Seahawks are the top 5 defense I see up on the board. He'll take the Ravens. Team 10 takes Carlson. By the way, Bo Nose doubles down and goes with 2 AFC North defenses. Interesting, Ravens and the Steelers. Dylan, I love the trash talk from you guys. This is great. Dylan getting in on it. Kyle, where are you going to go? You going to take a kicker? He goes McManus. Too bad. That's where I was going to go. I was going to take McManus. Nice pick by Kyle. El Pinche. He's got the option now. He's got a defense. He's got a kicker. Does he go to add to his bench a little bit? Let's see. Odell still on the board. Jamison Williams. He goes with Sam Laporta. Love the pick, El Pinche. Love that pick. That was a really nice find there. I need a kicker. Not crazy about a lot of the options up here. I'll go Jake Elliott. I'll just believe in the Eagles overall. I know they go for 2-point conversions, so that may backfire on me, but I'll take Jake Elliott for now. Jorge the GOAT. Let's see where he goes. Final few picks of round 14, and then the last round of this mock draft. Again, this is a 10-team PPR mock draft. If you guys want to participate in our mock drafts, make sure you DM us every day. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. That's Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. You DM us. We'll share a link. That way you guys can participate in our mock drafts every single day. Jorge, where are you going to go with this pick? Final 2 picks for Jorge coming up. Waiting on Jorge to make this round 14 pick. He has a defense. He has a kicker. He goes with Tyler Algier. That's a great find. Jorge, that's a great pick. I love getting Tyler Algier in the 14th round. Again, a draft and stash. If Bijan Robinson gets hurt, if Tyler Algier turns out to be a touchdown vulture, that'll turn out to be a steal. Really good pick by you. Shade 45 on the clock. He's got a kicker. He's got a defense. He goes running back. Jared Goff goes to Jorge the GOAT. Nice pick. I need a second tight end. I might have waited a bit too long to get it with a lot of these rookies coming off the board. I'll go with Gerald Everett, though I'm not crazy about it. I wish Laporta had remained out there, but unfortunately he was taken. Myers goes. Chiefs defense goes. Final 4 picks of our fantasy football mock draft. I'll drop this down. Final 4 picks of our fantasy football mock draft. El Pinche, Kyle, Bo Nose, and an auto-drafting Team 10 to finish it. McBride, interesting pick. Very interesting pick by El Pinche, backup running back for the Vikings. Interesting play. Kyle, where's he going to go? By the way, don't go anywhere. We're going to recap every single pick from our fantasy football mock draft once the draft concludes. See which teams we thought we did a better job or did a better job and which teams need to do a better job. IP Shade 45, yeah, teasing those running back trades. Rondale Moore goes next. Bo Nose, he took back-to-back defenses. He takes Moody the kicker, and we are done, folks. That is our fantasy football mock draft for today, July 28th, a 10-team PPR league. Let's take a look how these teams did. Taking a look at Team 1, McCaffrey, Adams, and Henry, Burrow, Hawkinson, really strong starting lineup. I just don't understand where he went with wide receiver. Hopkins, Williams, Hollywood Brown, Deontay Johnson, just not crazy about the wide receivers that he picked up. Thought there were probably some better ones to be had. Overall, I think Team 1's team really fell off after a strong starting lineup. Now, IP Shade 45, love where he started with Jefferson and Wilson, two of my favorite wide receivers right now. Stevenson, good pick, decent, not going to hate on it. Andrews, he was the second tight end taken. Interesting that he went there in the 4th round. Dobbins, not crazy about him. Feel like there's better options, but we'll see. He might prove me wrong. Like Justin Herbert, like getting Madison and Dillon. You might get good running back production out of them. Zay Flowers, love that pick. Rice, really like that pick. Surprised you took Wilson as your backup. Maybe you waited a little too long on defense. Patriots defense could be really good, but think you might have been able to go 1 round earlier and waited on Justin Tucker and gotten the flip on the other side. Let's look at Jorge's team. Jorge the GOAT. Love Austin Eckler in a PPR league especially. Josh Jacobs, he might miss a week or two, but you don't have concerns about that because not only did you get Tony Pollard with round 3 pick, you went with Miles Sanders in round 6. 4 really good running backs. Love what you did there, Jorge. Your wide receivers I'm not crazy about. Amari Cooper, I do like. McLaurin, less so because the quarterback situation in Washington. Christian Kirk, though, is a nice number 3 to go with Trevor Lawrence, your quarterback. Jared Goff is the backup to Lawrence. Love that. Wide receiver Cooks. Felt like you probably needed 1 more wide receiver, so I like the fact that you did go with Cooks. That's a nice play. Williams, I'm not as crazy about as I am Algier. I actually like Algier more, but a really strong team by Jorge, especially Eagles and Butker to fill it out. How do I think about my team? I kind of was in a tough spot. And in a PPR league, I didn't want to reach on Bijan Robinson. That's why I went with Nick Chubb. I didn't take Jamar Chase either. So maybe Nick Chubb was a bit of a reach and a mistake by me, but that's where I ended up making the decision. Hall and Gibbs, I figure one of those two is going to have a fabulous year, so I'm kind of banking on that. Plus, I got Dalvin Cook as a draft and stash play, so I have 4 arguably RB1s. Chubb, Hall, Gibbs, and Cook, wherever they go, they're probably the number 1 running back. That's why I really like all 4. Metcalf and Samuel, I like them, but I liked them more probably 2 years ago. This year, I could see both of them maybe having a bit of a slide, but given this is a PPR league, I like Samuel. Metcalf's still good for touchdowns. Ingram, tight ends were just starting to run. Felt like I had to take it, so I went there. Quarterbacks where I struggled. Only took Dak Prescott. I definitely need another quarterback. I don't think Dak Prescott was a good pick by me. So, I like my wide receiver depth. I love what I did at defense. I like my running backs, but quarterback is where I probably need to make a trade. Now, let's look at Team 5. 3 wide receivers out of the gate. Kupp, Brown, and St. Brown. I like that, but just waited too long on running backs. Pierce, Swift, and Connor, too long. That's where Team 5's team fell apart. Team 6, Kelsey, Diggs, Allen, Higgins. Love where he started, but again, running backs came too late. That's a mistake by Team 6. How about looking at El Pinche's team? El Pinche, how do we think that he did in this draft? Decent. Bijan Robinson was a steal, and number 7, that's a good pick. Lamb and Waddle, love those plays. You went back to a running back. I like it with Joe Mixon. Not crazy about it, but given the round 4, good job, and only the second running back taken in this round. So, Justin Fields, Pitts, interesting that you took them. Maybe a bit of a chance on both of them, but I do like them. Anthony Richardson, he's a bit of a flyer for end of year. Love Sam Laporta. Thought that was a late round steal. I'll be curious to know if Jordan Addison has good production. Let's go over to Kyle. Did take Jamar Chase. When he falls to you at number 8, that's a good pick. Taylor, Jones, and Walker, love that. Those are 3 RB1s you got. Keenan Allen, I'm not crazy about him, but I can see it. Kittle, Watson, okay. Your back end of the draft, I thought you were chasing a little bit to get Rodgers and Watson. I felt like there was more you could have done in addressing some wide receiver depth. Cortland Sutton's not bad, but definitely think wide receiver outside of Jamar Chase might be a bit weak. Let's look at Bo Nose. I thought Bo Nose had a great draft. Travis Etienne in a PPR might be a bit of a reach, but I actually think it's appropriate around end of first, beginning of second. Najee Harris, okay. Calvin Ridley and Devontae Smith were steals. Like, that was a great 1-2 combination. Plus, you got Lamar Jackson. Love that pick. Dallas Goedert, I'm not as high on him as others, but not a bad play. Thought Pacheco was a really nice number 3 running back to get. Did I mention I love Jackson Smith and Jigba? I thought Kirk Cousins was a nice backup to Lamar Jackson. Nice play. Dalton Kincaid. Love that tight end. Damian Harris. As long as Dalvin Cook doesn't go to Buffalo, that's a good pick. Michael Thomas as a draft and stash. That's a good pick. And a couple of defenses. Maybe waited a little long on defense, but given the overall roster, I do like it. And Team 10, Barkley was the running back they got, and then they waited until Akers. I don't like it because of all the wide receivers they drafted. You can only start 2, maybe 3 of them in that flex. So I really don't like the Team 10 or the Team 10 built. Running backs, they drafted a bunch, but late. Really not a great draft overall. So everybody, that is the fantasy football mock draft that we just did for this Friday, July 28th. I hope you guys have really enjoyed the show today. We covered a lot. We gave out a ton of MLB game picks, player prop bets, WNBA game picks. We obviously got your celebrity shots in as well. We talked to our Formula One expert to talk about the Belgian Grand Prix, and we did our fantasy football mock draft. Woo! I am tired, and you guys helped me get through. I had so much fun doing this show with you guys today. Make sure you follow us. Hit that follow button. Butt Fumble Sports is live every day at 12 p.m. when we don't have dental surgery. We are live every day at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, so make sure you follow us, make sure you join us, and make sure that you participate every day in our show. We're a sports content company built by a sports fan for you real sports fans at home. As I say at the end of every show, I hope you guys stay healthy, I hope you stay safe, I hope you have a wonderful afternoon and evening, a brilliant weekend, and I hope you cash a ton of tickets tonight. So, make sure you join us tomorrow when we're live again at 12 p.m. And until then, hope you have